Imagine a world where everything you see, hear, and feel is not quite what it seems. A world where your senses constantly deceive you and your brain crafts a reality that may be far from the truth. This is the fascinating realm explored by neuroscientist Beau Lotto in his book, Deviate, The Science of Seeing Differently. In February 2014, a viral sensation started with a simple photo of a dress. This photo caused worldwide debate. Some saw it as blue and black, while others swore it was gold and white. This optical illusion showed that our brain's interpretation of reality is often different from the actual world. Lotto takes us deeper into this rabbit hole of perception, showing us how our brains constantly lie to us. He presents classic optical illusions like two identical circles that appear different shades when surrounded by contrasting colors, or the illusion of movement we experience when a train next to us starts moving while we're stationary. Our senses are not perfect. What we think is real is often not completely true. But why does our brain play these tricks on us? Because it's a result of millions of years of evolution. Our brains don't need to perceive reality accurately. They just need to help us survive. This realization sets the stage for a deeper exploration of how our minds interpret the world around us. Imagine standing in a field at sunset. What you see is not just a simple image. The interaction between sunlight, reflections, and air is a fascinating and intricate dance of light. Our brains sort through a lot of information by filtering out unimportant details and focusing on what's crucial for our survival. To illustrate how flexible our brains can be in interpreting reality, let's share the remarkable story of Ben Anderson. Ben lost his sight at just 3 years old, but learned to navigate the world using echolocation, much like a bat. Ben used a unique skill to perceive his surroundings. By clicking his tongue and listening to the echoes, he was able to see the world. This demonstrates the remarkable ability of the brain to adapt and perceive reality differently. In an experiment conducted by Lotto, participants were equipped with unique vibrating belts that were aimed towards the magnetic north. After a few weeks, their brains had incorporated this new sense, improving their spatial perception and navigation skills. These examples show that our brains are constantly learning and evolving based on our interactions with the world. But our perception isn't just shaped by our current experiences. It's also heavily influenced by context and experiences. Lotto takes us back to 1824, where a royal tapestry factory in Paris faced an unusual problem. Customers complained that the threads they bought appeared duller at home than in the showroom. After years of investigation, the king's chemist, Michel Chevreul, discovered that there was nothing wrong with the thread or dye. The colors simply appeared more vibrant when woven together in tapestries due to the contrast effect. This discovery highlights a fundamental truth about perception. We never sense anything in isolation. Our interpretation of the world is always affected by the context of our current conditions and our experiences. But our perception isn't entirely at the mercy of our unconscious processes. Lotto argues that we have the power to consciously change how we perceive the world. He talks about a painting by Kazimir Malevich from 1915, which is a simple black square that caused a lot of debate in the art world. Viewers didn't just see a black square. They thought about art movements, aesthetic theory, and a personal statement. This demonstrates our mind's ability to create meaning beyond what's physically present. Lotto also describes a famous optical illusion of a spinning diamond to show how we can consciously influence our perception. If we imagine the diamond spinning in a different direction, it can appear to change direction when we look at it again. This power of imagination allows us to create entirely new worlds in our minds, and even alter how we perceive the physical world around us. However, our perceptions are often unconsciously influenced by our experiences and emotional states. Lotto cites research showing that coins appear larger and more valuable to poor children than to rich ones, and hills seem steeper to tired people than to those who are well-rested. These examples show that our perception of reality may actually mirror our internal thoughts. Our assumptions about the world, formed through our experiences, both help and hinder our thinking. While these assumptions can be useful, they can also limit our ability to perceive the world in new ways. To think creatively, Lotto argues, we must cast aside our established assumptions. He illustrates this with the story of Jean-François Champollion, deciphering Egyptian hieroglyphics on the Rosetta Stone. Champollion made a breakthrough by challenging the idea that hieroglyphs represented entire words. He suggested that they might represent sounds instead. Our assumed knowledge is always incomplete and can be challenged. To discover new ways of seeing the world, Lotto encourages us to embrace uncertainty. He explains that our aversion to uncertainty is an evolutionary trait, but it often keeps us clinging to old assumptions. Pausing before reacting to our experiences allows us to consider different interpretations of the world, which is important for creativity. Finally, Lotto describes the ideal ecology of innovation as one that balances play and efficiency. Scientists studying cockroach movement out of curiosity led to the creation of a combat robot. Asking questions first and refining answers later, which Lotto calls blue sky thinking, is more likely to lead to original ideas and innovations. In conclusion, Lotto's book challenges our understanding of reality and encourages us to see the world differently. Understanding how our brains interpret the world allows us to question assumptions, embrace uncertainty, and unleash creativity and innovation. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our motivational videos.